Hey, Riot podcast fans.
Hey, guys.
The jillions of you that are no doubt listening right now.
Thank you for joining us for our podcast today.
Hey, just a heads up that, a couple of things. First off, Riot Live game night next Thursday. So that would be Thursday, June
13th.
Way to go, Nikki. Woo! I was going to say the 12th.
Nope, June 13th.
Okay, on June 13th, we're going to be kicking that off 9 o'clock on our RadioU Facebook page, and then you'll be able to see archives on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera.
In case you ever wanted to watch us host a special show, that'll be on Thursday, and we're going to be playing Overcooked 2. We're going to be having some food fights, and more. Actually, the thing that we enjoy the most is just talking with you guys, so you'll be able to interact with us, too.
So that's a thing. And then what else are we doing? Oh, there's a brand new Obadiah Plays that is on that very same Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. You can find both through links at riot.radiou.com. So today in the podcast, the Mrs. Doubtfire musical, the birthday party that it's a craze that's going to sweep the nation.
This is going to be the new type of birthday party that you're going to have.
We do get into Google Stadia, National Donut Day. Remembering,
which, by the way, we still don't have any donuts.
Really? Nothing?
Everybody's come in, and
There's
no
no
one
donuts.
brought in anything.
Yeah. It's tough out there, Nikki.
I think everybody assumes someone else will bring them in, so they don't do it.
Yeah.
So that is today.
Also, we talk about a new Russian TV show that we're all going to want to make sure we see. Some 4K stuff, some Taco Bell stuff, some Cheeto stuff, and maybe most importantly, what I think might be the best video game name ever. It's so...
You put that in there?
I did. I'm sorry. I want people to... I'm not saying go play it. I just want people to hear the name.
I just want you to know what it's like.
I feel like somewhere they're just like, man, we're just running out of stuff. So here, how about this one?
Well, enjoy the podcast. Don't forget, you can always connect with us at RadioU Riot on Facebook. You can also email us, riot@radiou.com. In case you ever find a story, send it to us. We might just cover it.
All right. Well, you guys have a great whatever it is.
Day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The only morning show brave enough to say that Chicken McNuggets are part of a balanced breakfast. The Riot on RadioU.
I just want to say a big good morning and thank you to everybody who's been reminding us and wishing us a happy donut day.
Oh, you guys always are here for us to remind us of the important days.
And thank you to, you know what, I didn't grab his name, but somebody called in to remind us that at one point we celebrated Bronut Day.
That's also something we could throw out
with the guys and
today.
kids in the way. So, you know what, nothing wrong with that.
Little throwback.
Nothing wrong with that. So, Nikki, do you want to go ahead and open the donuts? Or
I don't see a box in here.
You didn't bring any?
I did not.
But we had decided it was going to be your job.
I don't think we did. And you know what? This is the world I live in. I was walking in. I thought, I bet there's some probably in the foyer out there. Like, there's probably some somewhere. Why would there be any? Why? It's like, I bet there's some probably by the door.
You know what?
And that's a hopeful spirit. So don't squash that, okay?
Okay. You know what, Nikki? The day's not over.
I know there still could appear some donuts, but I don't have any time. I didn't have any time to get them.
Just because it didn't happen first thing doesn't mean it won't happen no thing.
Hey, we have a long show today, all right?
Long show.
Lots of opportunities.
Lots of opportunities.
For surprises and all that fun stuff.
Sure thing.
But if you guys are on your own, schedule and time, don't forget to celebrate the holiday today in whatever way works for you. But yeah, no box.
No box. Sorry.
Did we look in the break room?
I've been in there.
Maybe I was just off.
You know what? You want to hear something really exciting? I went in there and got some water.
Wow.
And
Did you get a dozen?
There were no donuts.
Did you get a dozen waters?
I got a dozen waters.
Oh, my gosh. What a day.
So good.
You're not supposed to eat so much water, but that's fine.
Yeah. Hey, here's Manny texting in to rub it in. Going to Destination Donuts today.
Hey, good morning, Manny.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I just hope the donuts appear for you when you check out and you get your own. That's good. Whee! Love the day.
Yeah, we're just going to tear right into this box here.
Did we
our imaginary
look into
box.
Maybe it's in the fridge. Maybe.
I didn't look in there.
It's the
Maybe
fridge.
Did you look backstage?
It could Oh, it's in the back, maybe?
Maybe all the way in the back. What about in the storage closet?
I bet you someone put it in the back to surprise us today. We just haven't looked back there.
Have you been in the attic today?
No. Oh, those would be something.
Haven't been in there yet.
We've not. And if there's any in there, then they've been forgotten from many years ago.
I'm sure it's there.
So happy donut day to everybody.
And thanks everybody.
Yeah, Mike, we could, DoorDash or Grubhub or something.
No, I'm not paying somebody to bring me donuts. Sorry. There it is. The cheapskate emerges.
We'd rather be like, here's 15 songs and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Which we're not allowed to do.
No problem.
No one will tell on us, right?
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So we hit you with a lot of game stuff, right? You've got a brand new Obadiah Plays on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page. I played A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Just a little light watching this weekend. It's fine.
It's okay. I'm just going to tell you right now.
About the plague.
It's so gross. Like there are so
Don't
many.
sell it so much. I mean, gosh.
It's funny because it's not like Mortal Kombat gross. It's like, why is there all these dead pigs laying around?
Like as in real life, sort of. It's a possibility.
Like the plague happened and why is it so gross here? Like that kind of stuff. It was something.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was reminded I had a great time with it. But that's not the only piece of gaming news. Check this out. Yesterday, Google Stadia was like they had their press conference and they went over it. Now, what that is Google's upcoming gaming platform where you will stream games instead of owning them locally. So it's a lot like, what do they call it? PlayStation Now and a couple of other things.
So instead of having a gaming console, you would just have their apps and you would just use it that way.
Right. So a couple things they announced. First off, the price, $10 a month.
It's always $10 a month.
It is always $10 a month.
And what does that get you?
Well, for $10 a month, they haven't been super clear about what that gets you.
I don't know, like, does that get you a lot of free games or you still buy the games and some are free or what?
There's going to be a free version of this that will run in HD, like 1080p, 60 frames per second, stereo. And then if you pay the $10 a month, as long as you have enough bandwidth, you'll get to play in 4K, 60 frames per second, HDR with full surround sound. Mm-hmm. As long as you have the bandwidth for it and you pay for it.
That's on your end.
Right. They're saying that you will get that. Now, the thing that they were just not clear about is what $10 a month gets you. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, it gets you this upgraded resolution and all that stuff.
So, like, are you still paying for the game?
In some cases, yes, and in some cases, no. But they have not said what is what. So it will launch with some quote-unquote free games, that will come with your $10 a month. But then other games you will have to purchase in order to play them.
And still pay the $10 a month.
Correct.
That's kind of what everybody thought going into it.
Yeah, for some reason, that's a harder sell to me. The fact that I'm paying you $10 a month and I also have to buy a game. But the other side of that is, you're doing this in place of buying a console. Mm-hmm. So instead of paying $300 to $500 up front, you're paying $10 a month.
Did they announce, was it November for the date?
They said it's going to be out in November, and the only way that you're paying or playing it this year is if you buy the Founders Edition. And you're like, what do you mean buy it? Well, for $130, the Founders Edition gets you the controller, which they're going to be selling separately for $70.
Jeez.
It's kind of a lot, guys. Not going to lie to you. But this $130 pack will get you the controller. It will get you a Chromecast 4K.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry. So
like a Chromebook, or what are you getting?
No, that's what you would essentially need to play it on your TV, is that it will work with a Chromecast 4K there. It also gets you 3 months of the service, and it gives you 3 months of like a buddy pass. So you'll be able to give that to a friend
to try.
That will also get 3 months.
So basically that's just to limit it so it's not overloaded and so they can still test to make sure the service and stuff?
I would say that, and otherwise you might not buy the controller. When you end up finding out that your Xbox One controller works just fine with the service,
they got to move them somehow.
Then you might not buy the controller. But if they make it this kind of exclusive thing where buy the controller, play early.
So that's Google's Stadia, which will be out in November.
Yeah. But again, they say if you want to play this year, you got to pay. But next year it will launch in a $10 a month version and a free one. But again, like what's going to be the difference? What will you get for $10 a month versus free? We still don't really know.
Either way, you're going to pay something.
Yes.
Okay?
Get ready to pay.
And nothing's ever truly free.
The Riot is to your ears what all those energy drinks are to your liver.
For the love of God, please stop. I can only process so much.
The Riot, RadioU.
I just want you to know right now, people are judging you based on the clothes you're wearing. And you're like, that's not fair.
You don't want to hear that as you're getting ready?
I'm a person. I know, I get it. I totally get it. I don't want to be judged either, but they do judge you, and here's how I know. Right now, the FBI is looking for the sweatpant bandit.
Wow. But, I mean, you have to help give something to look for when it comes to trying to apprehend this person.
Right. And I'm just telling you that in this particular case of this bank robber, their first impression is the sweatpants.
You know how, like, sometimes you go out, you're like, well, do I want to wear jeans or, like, dressy pants or yoga pants or what do you feel like? And you're like, no, I'm just going to wear sweatpants today. No one cares.
No big deal.
One cares. That's what everybody always says. You do you. You just do whatever you want. And if you're more comfortable, that's the day you choose to get in trouble. And everybody noticed you wore sweatpants.
Well, I think you got to really think ahead, which is why a lot of people made fun of him for it. But you look at what Marv and what's his name did as the Wet Bandits. And, like, they got on top of that naming scheme. Like, they got out there with a name and a thing. And it just goes to show you that if you don't, someone else will pick a name for you. And again, I am sorry, but the first thing they're noticing
is your pants.
Is what you're wearing. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the first thing they went for. And in this particular case, the sweatpant bandit has sweatpants and a sweatshirt. And they said one of the things...
Like a jogging outfit or something? Or like a track outfit?
Let me give you a quote from the FBI, okay? FBI Oklahoma City, Andrea Anderson, Public Affairs. She says, one of the things that we would ask folks to be on the lookout for is that she does show up in very heavy sweatpant attire. Full-length sweatpants from head to toe, a hoodie over her head, dark sunglasses.
Gotcha. So that's what we're looking for?
That's what we're looking for. The sweatpant bandit. She's been robbing banks in Oklahoma City since December.
So that's why you go out now, and if you're that person, you dress to the nines. Like, you're just so dressed wonderfully. And then they're like, well, I mean, she's not wearing sweatpants. It can't be her.
She was the
you need to be
fashionable bandit?
Yeah, you need to be very put together, and then they won't track you down.
I feel like somebody somewhere, like there's a group of bank robbers that are like, you know, it used to be classy around here. Bonnie and Clyde, they were always dressed up. People thought they were movie stars. Now we're just robbing banks in sweatpants.
That's just when you don't care anymore.
Next thing you know, we won't be robbing banks at all.
At least they got out of the house. I mean, so much robbery now is, not in person anymore.
It's all online. Identity theft.
So they got out of the house, and they're wearing something. Also, they could be robbing naked, and then we'd be having even more of this conversation.
Well, the naked bandit, I admittedly doesn't have quite as much of a ring to it.
Well, I think people would be like, "What's going on?" Yeah. It would draw more attention.
Again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I just want you to know that whatever it is that you choose to wear today, you're sending a message, and people may be calling you that. Like, oh, he's novelty T-shirt guy.
That's Obie. That's me. That's all of us. If you want to work in radio, no robberies here, but you do have to wear T-shirts, jeans, and flip-flops.
You could be the sweatpant bandit. And sweatpant is getting harder and harder to say.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
You get invited to your 3-year-old cousin's birthday party, and you're like, yeah, I'll go. It's going to be so cute.
Listen, sometimes you just want cake, right? And you go where the cake is.
I don't know. I think when kids are 3, they're still cute enough that you're like, yeah, I'm on board. It's when you get invited to like an 8-year-old's birthday party, and you're like, I'm out. I'm out. Call me again for the grad party.
I'll come then.
Wait, is there going to be cake? Okay, I'm coming.
I'm still coming.
All right, I'm fine with that. So there's a girl. Her name is Lucia, and for her 3rd birthday, she wanted to have a birthday party that was themed after The Nun.
Oh, then from the movie?
The horror film. Have you seen the pictures?
Why would you want that? What parent is letting them watch that?
Well, in fairness, I can confirm that it was not a parent, but was in fact a grandparent. She said she was at her grandma's house, and I don't know if it came on or what, but she wanted to keep watching it, and she watched the whole movie. And then when it was over, she was like, I want to have a nun birthday party. So there are all these pictures with her and this paper mache nun that someone made for her.
It is so weird.
And then
and she's dressed up like it.
Yep.
Well, that is something.
It really is.
I mean, it's whatever, but The Nun is a bit of a harder movie for a 3-year-old to be able to understand.
It seems like it's a little much.
Boy, but maybe when you're at 3,
you're not getting it.
You're not getting the scary part of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would think you would, but maybe not.
I don't know. I feel like maybe you're not young enough to know that's supposed to be afraid. You're just like, that funny old lady is like,
look at her face,
scaring everybody. That's hilarious.
So apparently the actress who played the nun contacted the little girl's mom, offered to send her a gift as well. So people were enjoying this.
Shut up. The actress is like, you know what? Real talk. It's the first time anybody's cared.
Someone has appreciated this movie that I was in.
I never get invited to things.
So if you scroll down, there's lots of other people who's like done a Chucky birthday party and
Child's
a few others.
Play.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh my gosh, there's fan art for it now. For this girl's birthday party, there's fan art. Wow. Okay, sure. You know what? It's great. Why not? Now, Nikki, here's the question I have to ask you. If I told you that you had to have a horror movie themed birthday party.
Like my age now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
No. I want to know what you would pick.
Oh, I thought you meant like, would I be bothered?
I don't think that's going to be it.
I'll just close my eyes.
See, I already have one picked out for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, I never watched a lot of scary movies, so I don't know. I could make a statement and pick a non-scary movie, but say it really is.
It's existential terror?
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. What do you think?
Oh, I think it would be perfect for you.
No, the clown?
Balloons,
No.
Nikki.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All those balloons.
Just nothing but red balloons
There's
everywhere.
Just red balloons everywhere. And you would be like, this is my favorite birthday party.
Ever. I don't even mind the clown. I love balloons. So you're right. That could be a bit.
It is perfect. So, I mean, that's just a thought. For me, if I had to choose a horror movie I didn't think about me. I just immediately thought about you.
Thank you for doing that.
Sorry,
that is so sweet.
I know, right?
You're like, which character should we choose to make Nikki's birthday scary? That is so nice.
Well, I like seeing a lot of people accuse me of being selfish.
Not at all.
But I think this just proves that I'm not selfish. I'm putting your birthday first, Nikki.
Thank you. Even though in the line of things, yours is next. Your birthday will come up.
I should check with Nick and see when it's okay for us to celebrate your birthday. But after I check with Nick, I'm definitely...
Oh, then we'll see.
You're definitely up first, Nikki.
You can go to the balloon store, even though there's a helium shortage. So balloons are a thing. It's hard to...
Is that
hard.
Real?
Yeah, remember with Party City and all those other places, they're losing a lot of they're having a very hard time because there's a helium shortage and they cannot keep up with the demand for parties.
And they're like, hey, you know what? It's fine. Now we're out of balloons, but have you thought about this scary nun doll that we had?
You go, but there's literally only one red balloon at the whole birthday party because you can't afford more than that, and the store doesn't have enough.
I don't know. One red balloon might be more terrifying.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Yesterday, I talked about how I don't want to ring doorbell because police are starting to use the video footage from Ring doorbells for whatever, and I don't want the police seeing me walking in my yard.
Well, we were talking...
It's not their business.
There's been a lot of talk lately on, has our generation killed off the doorbell? Does anybody ring bells anymore? Is it all you text when you're there, your friend comes out, do you even go to the door? And then that led to you reading an article about security-wise with us having a lot of cameras on our doors and our doorbells. Is there a future to where that's all gets shared with
everybody all the time?
Everybody all the time, authorities, or can you just walk around your neighborhood without being on camera? Where does that lead to future-wise?
Where does it lead? And yet, at the same time, I was super harsh on it yesterday, but I feel like today we have to come back a little bit and say
you'd miss it. If you didn't have this, you would miss these things.
There are things that do seem to make it seem worthwhile.
I love this guy.
There's a guy in San Francisco that I don't know if he gets home late or like what the heck he is doing.
I think like he's past his curfew or something.
Yeah, he seems too old to have a curfew.
Yes, he does. Or to be at home, like not just walking into the door, but basically he gets up close enough to the porch and then it seems like he remembers, hey, there's a camera on there. And he lives at home. And so he drops down real fast and he crawls on the ground to the
like
door.
Army crawls, like flat on the ground.
Because he's trying not to activate or be shown on the camera, because I guess he just doesn't want his parents to know he's trying to get in.
And so he crawls across the porch, gets up there, stays on the ground, and lifts his hand up to open the door.
Because he has to unlock with his keys.
Yeah, he's laying on the ground trying to open the door with his keys. And he seems to succeed in all but one thing, and that is not activating the camera.
Well, it still shows, and I guess it was his mom. He didn't want to, didn't want her to notice that he was coming home.
No, he's busted.
There you go. It's cute. I love the video because it seems like he is too old to be doing that.
But I mean, I can't confirm that.
And you know what? Your fear of your parents, that doesn't have an age limit on it. That lasts all the time. So, especially if you're still living at home.
Well, you know, Nikki, it's their house, so it's their rules.
Right? And he didn't follow the rules, and he could be in trouble.
And that's just the way that it goes.
If we didn't have cameras at our doors, how would you get moments like these?
We wouldn't get to see this. So you know what? I'm backpedaling. I'm going to go install a Ring doorbell right now. Or maybe one that doesn't have a monthly fee.
Something like that.
I don't want to pay a monthly fee for my doorbell. What are we doing? So,
hey now,
see?
Okay.
Do you see?
What happened there?
What just happened?
I don't like it.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I had to go to the break room and get a snack.
You did? Well, we've had a long...
Too much donut talk.
Not enough sweet stuff.
I had to do something.
And you got your coffee. You're over there with your French press. So that's perfectly good. We did mention Overcooked 2. We're going to be doing that game for our next Riot Live game night. That's just how it is. So you can hang out with us on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We're doing an evening show, not on RadioU, but it's one that you watch us at RadioU Riot and RadioU on our Facebook pages. So you can catch the video there then.
And I will tell you, if you stop by today, you'll see a brand new Obadiah Plays. I spent some time with A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Light game, just a simple subject, nothing too deep.
All this talk of donuts sent me to the break room to get something to eat, right? Because we react to the things that we see in the news.
It's suggesting, and we go do it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on in Russia right now. Russia has been reacting to what they're seeing in the news. Russian broadcaster NTV is right now working on its own Chernobyl series.
So did the HBO Chernobyl thing, was that on like this past weekend, or when did that start?
It wrapped up last weekend. So it's been on for the last couple of weeks. I don't know how many episodes they had, but of course, that episode blames all kinds of things like what really comes down to Russian incompetence. Though, okay, incompetence is that when you can't or are unable to do it. I imagine Russian engineers were capable. They talk more about how, like, cost cuts, et cetera, et cetera.
They knew what they were doing and the potential outcome for it, but just didn't think it was going to?
I think it's a lot of different things. And they showed what, the American narrative is about all these different reasons why Chernobyl happened.
So the show for HBO became like the top search for IMDb. Like it brought, it's not like Game of Thrones for HBO, but it did surprisingly well for them for what the topic is about.
Right. And so Russian broadcaster NTV is making its own version of Chernobyl to show that it was not Soviet blunders that caused all the problems. It was, in fact, the CIA plotting to bring down Russia, and the CIA caused the meltdown at the Chernobyl plant.
So they're saying it was America's fault?
Yes.
And that's what they're going to show in this show?
Yes.
Because they're saying the HBO show showed lies?
Yes.
Huh. All right.
So now you have to ask yourself, which one do you believe?
Well,
I know which one we believe. It's obvious. But see, the thing is that they're just like, yep, just one more piece of American propaganda. They're doing it again. They're doing it again.
They are filming that version right now.
Yeah, so we'll get an opportunity to see how the CIA actually came in and caused Chernobyl.
Well, I didn't even know. Like, I knew the show was happening when they started talking about the IMDb stuff, but I didn't even know like it was coming or anything.
I've seen a few things about it.
I didn't see any ads.
Truth be told, I'm very interested in watching it. But as I've said on this show before, you show me a horror movie like last year's Halloween. It's like there's a man with a knife and he's stabbing people. Ooh, scary, right? Show me a movie about a nuclear plant melting down. That's terrifying. That is terrifying. And a government that doesn't want anybody to know so they can't be held accountable, that's terrifying because it's real. Mm-hmm. That's something that actually scares me. The guy with the knife, I guess it's scary, but you know what? There's not a supernatural knife man stalking the forest. That's not real. Nuclear plant meltdowns, that's scary.
So Chernobyl had 5 episodes, Obi.
Okay.
And it finished its run, and that was on June 3rd, so this past weekend. And it had the highest audience ranking on IMDb, so it was 9.6 out of 10 stars. So that's why it was in the news so much.
Yeah, I'm interested, but probably too scary for me. You know, just
take your time then. Get a little nervous, put it away for a day or two.
I read that book about, Hiroshima. Yeah, you're going to lose some sleep on that one. Believe me.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
Nikki, what are your thoughts on Mrs. Doubtfire?
You know, I never liked the movie. There's only been one, right? They never redid it.
Yes, just one.
Yeah, I always see the reference of it, with the different parts of it, but
yeah.
I don't remember too much of it, just not being too crazy about it.
Well, there is a Mrs. Doubtfire musical that is coming this fall to Seattle.
How do you take something and make it more fun? Make it a musical. Some things, that's a hit or miss. Some it actually can really be good. And then others, it's like, no, that does not work out.
I just want to tell you that when you say hit or miss, I feel like it's mostly miss.
I know. I can't tell you any ones that might have been a hit. Like, I can't give you an example of one where they've turned it into a musical, but... maybe.
I'm not saying that it's all miss.
Sure.
That it can't possibly hit. I'm not saying that. I'm not. But I am saying it's usually a miss. All right? Like the last Starfighter musical.
Was that one?
Miss.
Miss.
Okay. Mean Girls. Hit.
Yeah, they said that's good.
So, who knows? I do know, though, that if you want to make plans for Seattle's Fifth Avenue Theater, November 6th.
Yeah, wait, we're just putting this down.
November 26th through December 29th.
That's probably a pass.
You're not?
Nah, not interested.
It's being helmed by 4-time Tony Award winner Jerry Zaks.
Doesn't change anything.
It's not?
Nope.
What about the Tony-nominated music writing team of Carrie and Wayne Kirkpatrick?
It's not about that. It's about the story itself. I must not have liked it.
Okay.
So no thanks on the Mrs. Doubtfire musical coming to Seattle in the fall.
Yeah. I did not like Mrs. Doubtfire because I remember watching it and they're like, divorce can be fine. And I'm like, actually, it sucks. How about that? Like, that's what. So this whole idea of like, wee. And I was like, no, I'm triggered right now. I don't like this movie. So I haven't revisited it.
That's also a pass for you, too.
Yeah. Because I don't think singing's going to make it any better.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if it's such an upsetting, topic and they're trying to make it be okay when it's not really okay, and the fact that you're singing your way through it, it's still upsetting to people.
I mean, well, maybe you're singing to get it out, but that doesn't mean that I want to sing it. But it's fine.
Your parents are telling you at home they don't want to stay together singing it. It's like, no. No.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, do you know what an infinity pool is?
Yes, it's the one where it's level. Like you can see through the side. It's not going to go well. Sometimes I
could
can't
you help
describe
me
it
a little bit?
You know, like when you are at a resort, you're going to the pool, and
First off, no, I don't know that.
it's got you can look right out, and it's. See my hand gesture?
Yeah, that's
right.
filthy. Would
No,
you
it's
stop?
It's not, and it's just like there it is, the horizon.
So what you're saying is you don't see the edge of the pool?
Yes, it just goes right on out, your view.
Okay, because in London, Compass Pools, which is a UK-based pool manufacturer, has designed the Infinity London. Now, it's not real yet,
There's
but
just
they're making
renderings,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but it will be at the top of a 55-story hotel. So it'll just be you at the top of this building in...
London? But do you see everybody's problem with it?
No, what's wrong with it?
Well, how do you get in and out? Where's the in? Where's the out?
I assume you have to swim in.
Well, from where?
The airlock?
From the airlock? You know, like this pool, again, it's not real. It's an artist rendering of it, but the infinity pool goes all the way around.
Right.
There's no like, here's the deck where then you get out of the pool and then you take the steps down. This is at the top of a building. So people are wondering, how can you actually make this 360 infinity pool work when there's no in and out of it to get down off the floor where the pool is located?
Well, if you look, like there seems to be a hole over here on the right.
To be something.
So you probably swimming in and out of the hole.
So they're going to have to still, I think, show how they make it possible for you to get to where the pool is.
Be interesting. I wonder how much air pressure would it require to hold that water in place. But then again, you'd have to constantly be equalizing because, again, you'd have to airlock in and out.
I don't think they're going to be doing that. So this is just one little problem people have had with the pool.
You know what? Listen, problems are there's solutions in hiding. Okay, so really all you need to do is let's just sit down and figure this thing out and let's have this pool. Okay. Though, I mean, you're not going to get me in this pool. Forget it.
Why? Just because at the top of a giant building?
Yeah, because it just feels like one of those things that are like, it was really weird. There was a strong wind that day. I blew a bunch of people out of the pool. Who knew?
Your floaty blows out of the pool.
You know, bro, just let it go. It's gone.
Okay, it
It's
falls
gone.
down the building, ends up hurting someone way below. So I could see there'd be too many rules, and it's not a pool you can really go and look like you could relax at. I would just be too worried.
I don't feel relaxed looking at it.
No, there's no deck. There's no, like, again, in the rendering, there's no chairs for you to sit at. There's no nothing.
But at the same time, it would be
very cool.
What a unique experience it would be, right? Like, that would be incredible. But I'm not going to try. Well, you know, let's see him get it fixed, and then let's get to London, and then let's see. You know?
So that's a we'll see?
It's a we'll see.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
It happens to all of us. It does. But I
How do you want to say it?
You know what, Nikki? You know, it's the tide. It comes in and it goes out.
Okay.
Right? And so I may completely change my stance on this in the next 5 months, but
right now,
I'm just not feeling the whole the 4K Blu-ray thing right now.
Not anymore?
No, because here's how I'm, marking that. Is Marvel announced sometime yesterday that they are, not that this is a surprise to anyone, but they are out there remastering all of their movies in 4K, and they'll all be released on 4K, on a 4K Blu-ray, and through streaming services. So they'll be upgraded, and, you can buy the 4K versions if you haven't already.
Sure.
So I look at this, and I can feel an old part of me that's like, we should do that. But then the majority of me is like, we're not doing that.
If I thought you've been buying 4K discs already.
I have been. But see, the difference is this. I've got all these Marvel Blu-rays, and the big problem they have is that the newer they are, the less they've been watched. So the first Avengers movie, I watched a ton. Mm-hmm. The second Avengers movie, I watched some. Avengers Infinity War, I watched 3 times.
Yeah.
And I just feel this continuing kind of, diminishing returns.
Sure.
And so the idea of like, we should go back and buy them, I'm like, well,
it's hard because, if you're going from Blu-ray to 4K, not everybody buys the actual physical discs anymore. You still do, but like I don't. It's been quite some time. And then if I go buy a movie, yes, I've got the 4K version of it. That's one thing, but it's always also on a streaming site somewhere.
Sure.
And I have found that for most of those things, it's just good enough, even if it's not 4K, or it looks like Marvel will start updating more streaming services, so it would be watched in 4K. That just keeps leading to me no longer buying and updating movies into a higher quality.
I just want to know, with like this Marvel stuff, what's it look like on Disney Plus? Is all the Marvel stuff going to be there all the time? Are they going to rotate it in and out? Is it going to be in 4K?
These are lots of questions, and we were not going to know until the fall.
And you know what? This is the important stuff. Like, this is the kind of stuff that matters. Like, I see myself this weekend sitting in a chair, staring off into the distance, thinking...
Are you going to journal about this and talk about this?
Oh, Nikki, I have been.
This is worrisome.
I have been. In fact, it was my inability to reach some true conclusions last night that's led to us talking about it today, because I feel that part of me that's like, I'm not going to upgrade to these things. It's fine the way it is. And then there's that little part of me that's like, yes, but what if it's better?
Oh, well, you like the sound stuff and you like the commentary, so you're still a person who goes and buys, discs every so often.
And they have a name for us.
What is the name?
Suckers.
Is that an official term?
It is now.
And I don't think that's just about this.
It is now.
Well, no, not for you, but for everybody. We all fall into that.
Yeah. And you know what? They say, I've never seen anybody hauling a bookshelf of movies behind the hearse.
That's okay. I mean, it's fine.
It's like you've never
Just
seen
bring
that
your
because
hard drive,
it's in
okay?
the U-Haul.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's no big deal.
So, well, Marvel, that's the details from them, but...
yeah, they're going to be launching that, so yeah.
More stuff.
Yeah, JC says, no. Enthusiasts. No, it's suckers. It's suckers, guys. Like
that both of it works.
It's real.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, Nikki, let's say that you've got a roommate or a friend, or maybe even some of the animals that you share the office space with.
Sure.
All right, let's say they've got a 2-liter that they've left out.
A soda, sure.
And it's just sat out, and it's been there forever.
Yeah.
It's just been there and been there. And you're like, you know what? It's time to throw it away.
Yeah.
The lid's off. It's obviously flat. Just throw it away. Do you, 1, just leave it there? 2, throw it away? Or 3, yell at the person to throw it away?
I'd probably just pour it down the sink and throw it away.
Probably just throw it away.
Yeah, no need to add the yelling part to it.
Yeah, you're not feeling that?
No, but I would throw it out.
I mean, Charlotte doesn't exactly agree with you, Nikki.
Why? What did Charlotte do?
Well, the thing is that there was a half-empty Big Red 2-liter.
Big Red?
The
drink?
Big Red.
Yeah.
That was sitting out. And, she was tired of throwing it away. She got in a bit of an argument over the fact that it hadn't been thrown away, which, you feel like maybe this argument is about other things.
Yeah, but this is just the tip of that big red iceberg.
Yeah. I mean, this was the flashpoint, but, like him not throwing away Big Red was really a way of showing that he didn't love her or something like that. You understand.
Something that went far deeper.
Yeah.
Were they together or just roommates?
No, this was a guy and his live-in girlfriend.
I gotcha.
I guess she's the live-in girlfriend and he's not the live-in boyfriend because his name's on the lease. I don't understand that right there.
Try to make a point that he maybe owns it.
Yeah, but when he didn't throw it away, she grabbed a metal pipe and began banging.
Oh, no.
Like went into the bedroom and just started trashing everything.
Okay.
But, again, you got to see that for what it is. That's communicating. Like, if you won't get rid of trash here, I'll create trash here.
I would have thought you said she would have started like wailing on him with the big red soda thing, but instead she's using something even harder.
Yeah, well, when he went into the bedroom and it was like, you got to stop it, she started hitting him with the metal pipe. And then, then the police show up and everything.
You're right, though. It feels like they are having communication issues and they haven't been talking well about other stuff. And this was just the last straw.
I just feel like you want to set him down and be like, okay, all right, Charla, and person, I'm going to show you some photos, and I want us to talk about our feelings when we see the photos. So, okay. Now, remember, when the other person's talking, then you're not talking. And I also want us to use the kind of language where we own our feelings. Okay, Charlotte? So you can't say, he makes me mad. You say, I become angry when.
Look at that, diffusing it.
Yeah, and so, okay, I want you to own your feelings. Now, here's a photo of a half-empty Big Red 2-liter. How do you feel right now?
Well, she's all red.
She's
all red and she got mad.
So, okay, I know that you want to pick up a metal pipe, but I want you to use your words. How do you feel right now?
I don't feel like they need a break, maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're living with someone, it can be too much, and it's not right for you.
You know, you just need a little time apart. It doesn't have to be weird. It can just be, you know what? I'm going to go out for the night and leave you with your stupid Big Red 2-liter.
And then see if you like it in the morning, because I'm never coming back.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Well, hello.
Yes. Hello to what?
I like what Nikki sent me better than what I was even going to talk about.
So you can change.
It appears that the nacho fries will be returning to Taco Bell this summer.
Did you ever have them before?
Here's the thing. I have a bit of a, shall we say, anti-Taco Bell policy. However, it was, let's say 3 months ago. I had a friend of mine that was in an off-Broadway production. Off-Broadway. And we all went to this thing, and afterwards
celebrated with Taco Bell.
Yes, it was like, all right, you know what? It's your night. What do you want? And she was like, you know what? I know it's ridiculous, but I just want Taco Bell. So to Taco Bell we went.
Yeah.
And I had the nacho fries, and you know what? One could argue that they were essentially soggy, like some frozen fries you'd throw in the oven.
With the cheese sauce?
That cheese sauce did a lot for those fries, Nikki.
So they're coming back.
It did a lot for those fries.
You can get the nacho fries Supreme and the Bel Grande one. That will be a box available. I'm trying to see when they're coming back. This is the second time this year that the nacho fries have been around.
Well, we know that I was there in March of 19.
It's the fourth appearance of the fries on the menu in the last 2 years. So at this point, it shows that Taco Bell's putting them up about every 6 months or so.
Come on.
So you'll get sometimes even variations. Like, remember, they did the rattlesnake fries. So you're getting more fries more often, which makes people believe that nacho fries eventually will become probably a permanent item.
Well, it's weird, and who knew this was coming, but apparently Americans like fried potatoes.
Yes.
Like, what?
Yes, we do. We love it in any form.
Are you for real right now?
So all forms of the nacho fries, those are coming back, and that will be at Taco Bell starting today.
Those do look pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, yeah, actually started yesterday, so you should see them now.
Come on, let's get ourselves some of these nacho fries. What do you think?
That does sound good. I actually like their nachos. I haven't had their fries before, but what was the other thing? For the very first time when they brought it back earlier this year, is it the naked chalupa thing? It's the chicken thing that...
Oh, yeah.
That, I had never known that was so good.
Really?
That's really, really good.
Nikki's eyes didn't light up a little.
No, a lot.
They lit up a lot.
And I'd always see people talk about them, and I tried it. It was so good. And then I went back the next day, and they were gone. It was like, that's it. No more.
Well, it was a limited time.
Really disappointed.
Or those were just really, really left over.
No, it was a very small window earlier this year. They just pop up every so often.
Gosh, Taco Bell's so exciting. I just love them so much.
I think today, anything food-wise just sounds exciting.
Why are we so hungry today?
Don't know. I have no idea why.
What's the deal? I feel the same way. Like, I could eat this microphone.
It's National Donut Day. It's National, chocolate ice cream day?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. So there's a lot of food things today.
Come on, food. We love you.
We love you too, Obi.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I think I may have found probably not only one of the best video game titles I've ever heard, but one of the best titles of anything ever. Are you ready?
What is it called?
Deathgarden Blood Harvest.
Nice. That's a video game? They're going to use the word harvest somewhere in that.
It's so dumb. Maybe the game is great. I know almost nothing about it. I see that it's got some DLC that features the Terminator. But just the idea of her just sitting around just all right, guys, okay. We get so many names are taken, but we got to come up with some. And they're like, you know what's hot right now? Killing stuff, but also garden simulators. Have you seen Farm Simulator 19?
Everybody likes that stuff. We're going to bring in both audiences.
So how do we bring them together? Wait a minute, I've got it. Deathgarden. And what do you grow in a garden of death? Blood. And what do you do with your garden? You harvest it?
Oh my gosh, it's perfect.
Oh my gosh.
So wait, Deathgarden and then Blood Harvest. It's the same.
Well, no, Nikki, the Blood Harvest blooms in the Deathgarden.
Right. So is Deathgarden a series and then Blood Harvest is the newest one?
I guess so, because it seems to me that Blood Harvest is the subtitle. It's Deathgarden : Blood Harvest.
Is that what is free this weekend?
Is it free?
I don't know. It seems like, or maybe it was last weekend. It was free to try.
I see that it's on sale.
It's free to stream for 2 days.
Oh, where at?
Well, I don't know if it was. That's all I have
okay.
listed.
All right, I'll have to look at it.
I'll be lying if I know more than that.
I just know that that's, again, probably the best title in the history of titles.
What sort of game is it?
It says here it's a multiplayer survival game.
You're just walking around shooting things?
In a dark dystopian future,
Nice.
the world is
I see
divided.
cactuses. I'm watching some gameplay.
Well, Nikki, sometimes even though you're there for a blood harvest, you have a couple of other things. Like you got some green beans.
It's not like that.
A few other things in the Deathgarden.
Seems like in the garden there's just a haze. Like it's all right. Well,
yeah, Nikki, that's because you're up in the morning and they say that a light misting can be better than a full-on sprinkle.
In the garden. All right. Well, if anybody has played that game before, feel free to let Obie know.
I don't want to play it.
You don't want to?
No,
what
I'm
if
good.
it's the best thing ever?
Nikki, it already is. I don't want to ruin it by knowing what it is. I just want to make fun of the name and move on. Because I feel like if I begin growing any level of attachment to it or find out it's as bad as it sounds, whatever.
Can't make fun of it as much?
It's way easier to just make fun of the name. I don't want to get to know the person. I just want to mock all their, exterior qualities.
I would like to know the person who did name it. We would like to meet him or her.
Give him a high five. That's awesome.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously. This is The Riot on RadioU.
One of my favorite things about shopping at Forever 21 is they let me do my style, but also on my budget.
Really? You go to Forever 21 a lot?
I do a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do have trouble sometimes with sizing because I don't feel like they have, what somebody of my size is looking for. It's hard to not be delicate when they cater to a delicate clientele, but I do love their fashions.
You do?
I do, which is
how about
why
this collection?
I'm really excited about the new Cheetos collection that's coming to Forever 21.
It looks like a collection kind of, like if you go to Taco Bell or any sort of fast food establishment, they usually have merchandise and they sell it on their site. This seems like a Cheetos collection that you would find on the Cheetos website, but it's not. It's a Forever 21 collection that they're doing with them.
Oh my gosh, I am so in love with these Cheetos crop tops.
I know, right? Perfect for you. And the bodysuit, you're going to love it.
Well, I put a lot of work into my abs, and I'm always looking for something that's going to help me show it off. And I feel like that this is going to be just the right amount of skin. That way, everybody's going to know what I've been up to over the winter. Crafting this body.
Your beach body.
And, if you don't feel like showing off your core, they have flaming hot flip-flops.
Well, no, it's slides.
Okay.
I think that's out of the collection, probably the only thing we'd go for.
Well, what about the Cheetos hat?
We can do the
I
hat.
forgot. My head's so big it won't fit.
Or the Cheetos t-shirt. But there are a lot of crop tops, tank tops. Bodysuits, dresses.
Well, what about this Cheetos one piece?
That could be a possibility.
That'd be fantastic for me.
But I think out of all, I would like to try to get the flaming hot Cheetos slides. That would be something I'd wear.
Yeah, well, you do like your toes exposed.
I do. I got my Adidas ones on, so.
If you want to talk about the kind of skin that Nikki's looking to show.
It's right there where my toes are.
She really
that's all
wants
you get.
exposed toes.
And you get a little above the ankle, and that's all you're going to have.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So that's the Cheetos and Forever 21 collection.
So
I'm sure it'll sell out.
Do we know when that's going to hit stores? It's available online and at stores nationwide. I don't see a date.
Maybe now?
They say that retails between $5 and $30 for each piece, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you're building an ensemble.
Oh, it launched yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Apparently yesterday was the day for everything.
It was the food day.
It was. So everything goes from like $5 to $30.
All right. Well, this is exciting. And after the show, if you want to, we're not that far from Forever 21.
We could go there. We could pick, it's National Donut Day. We could go grab a donut.
Yeah.
We could.
Because my donut lifestyle and this crop top, like
they work really well together.
Right there together.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Oh, he's novelty t-shirt guy.